Sawtooth Dave, what's happening? Miss Sock's already hitting in there. See, yep, we get her in the video early. Maybe she'll stay gone the rest of the time. I doubt it, but we'll try it, right? What's happening, y'all? Have a good week. Roll up a chair here. I got the mic clipped to my hat this time. We'll see the volume this time. Y'all said it sounded clear, but not loud. So we're trying a different way. See what happens. I don't know shit about tech, so we learning as we go on. What you think, Miss Socks? Yeah, that's what I think too. All right, so I've showed in the past Doug had sent me this Zermana to check out, and he was pretty much looking to get rid of it. Well, me and him about working a trade, so this will be my Zermano now. I dig it. Thanks again, Doug. I dig this little knife, man. It probably will get a different scale put on it, but as of right now, the way this shop's going over here, I got the phase converter, I got the power hooked up, but it's not working. So I got to figure out if what I'm doing is wrong or something the machine's wrong from the mill. I brought my box home from the machine shop, so I'm really not at the machine shop anymore. I mean, they might call me if they need me, kind of thing, but I'm not actively going there anymore. So for all purposes, I got what I got, and that's it. And it's not running, so I can't really do anything for anybody. So for the few people who have asked this past couple weeks or whatever else, like until I get my equipment running, there's nothing I can really do. Well, I'll get it running. It's just a matter of time and how much money I got to spend on it. But we'll get it running. So quick story, and then I'll get into what I want to show you. Damn, Socks, what you doing, big girl? So y'all seen all the knives that Steve Clare landed to me, and then I put three of them in a case with his, and had it sent it down. That's by far the most expensive package I ever had to send since I've been doing all these loaners. Most of the time, 1, 2, 3. You know, sometimes like me and Scotch and things will send some pretty valuable packages back and forth. It was pretty up there, man, value wise. Like I was pretty worried about that one, so I ended up just paying for the overnight on it. Like it just was the only way that is going to be peace of mind. So I ended up paying for the peace of mind on that one, which it was pretty expensive. But at the same time, my buddy Jose had borrowed my kickstand, and when he had sent it back, he was kind of sweating it too, and he was just at one knife. So it's kind of funny how it's progression there too. Like, like those of us who have shipped out a lot of stuff, you kind of get numb to a certain price range, and then above that price range, you kind of get the pucker factor, man, because that's an expensive. It's almost like, especially like Steve's knives, like mine. I'm a little more on the could care less because they're mine kind of thing, and not that I care less, but they're replaceable. Okay, so like Steve's knives, I don't know how he feels about them. And some of the finishes and stuff on those knives were irreplaceable. So I was really worried about it, get it back. But everything worked out as it usually does. Like, you usually don't have problems. But yeah, I was still sweating that shit, man. But I think the two that was conveyed last week, I liked them all. It's all the ones Steve sent. But the two that Steve Clare sent were that stick in my mind was the Luther and the Rugabutz, the Extreme Addiction. So I actually talked to Extreme Addiction. He was building a couple similar models, and he showed me some pictures, and they're cool, but they weren't exactly what I was looking for. I'm kind of more of a plain kind of guy, and like this one had like a bullet hole looking thing in it with like a bunch of armor and rivets, and I don't know, it just wasn't my thing, man. And I was like, man, I could probably do it if I got like a acid etch blade. He didn't want to acid etch the blade, so I was like, it's just not going to work out. And then me and Steve Clare were talking, and we might be able to work out a deal with his other one. We got a proposed deal, but I'm not holding him to the fire. I'm going to send him something that he's interested in. If he likes it, then maybe I'll work out a trade, and maybe I'll end up with that knife. Maybe it'll be running down the road, like when he's done with it. Maybe it'll come my way. We'll see. On the other end of things, and I got to thank Steve for this one. I know I'm along with this, but y'all know, you watch the video before you see me. Steve Clare clued me into it, and then I don't know shit about Facebook or even buying deals on Facebook, because the most what I do aftermarket, it used to be Instagram only, and then I guess I have bought some off of YouTube in the past as well. But this is like the second time I did the Facebook thing, and I don't know anything about trying to figure out if a person's legit or not legit. So I called Scotch and Thing Steve, do some research. He helped me figure out if the dude's good or not. I still don't know how to do it, but he did it for me. So yeah, the dude looks legit. And then I asked for the dude for vouchers after I paid him like an idiot. But I ended up getting a Luther. And if you watched Instagram or see my Instagram, you know that Luther was orange and black, and that's the reason I got it. It was kind of a little bit on the fugly side, kind of had some issues. So it ain't orange and black no more. It's blasted and stonewashed. And I know this is the same configuration I finished almost all my knives here lately, but it's just one that I really enjoy. So this is my new Luther, new to me Luther. When I got it too, Socks, I'm trying to show the people the video. I know you're trying to rub on me, but all right. I don't know. We'll have some kitty time when we're done, all right? So it's not centered. It wasn't centered when I got it. It's still out of center a little bit. Let's see if I can show you. See, it's out of center just a little bit. I don't know where the hell the camera is on this thing. There we go. Straight in on it. There we go. So you see it's out of center. When I first got it too, it was worse out of center. And then now the detent's better. And I'll tell you what I did here in a second. But when I got it initially, the detent was lighter than what Steve's was, unless you pushed on the lock bar, and then it would go in further into the detent hole, and then it'd be super hard. You couldn't hardly flick it out. You'd have to really try. So I ended up, after I blasted it, usually after you blast these things anyhow, you want to change the detent ball. Sometimes it'll put flats on them. Sometimes it just gets grain up in there. And I just found it better to change the detent. So I put a ceramic detent in it, and I left it out, hanging out a little bit further. In other words, I didn't press it in the metal as much, left it standing out further. And the detent seemed to have improved. It's better on the initial now than what it was. It's still lock bar sensitive. This is one of those knives where, like, if you put too much pressure on that lock bar, it gets extremely hard to flip. But if you take your finger off that lock bar, it'll come right out. So it's one of those kind of knives. I dig the way it looks now, and you can see everything's breaking back in, which you have to go through that process after you blast it, because you're blasting especially this without the lock bar insert, just the titanium. If you blast into that, like some people say not to, some people say to. I didn't really have any problems, so I blasted everything. But anyway, new Luther. And yes, Mitch, I didn't pull one past you, did I? He commented right away on that Instagram post. He knew I was up to some shenanigans. But that's my new to me Luther. Let's see. All right. So I'm doing a lot of pass around stuff. I send a knives to people who want to check them out. It's kind of something I like to do. Like, it's just one of my things. And like when Steve did for me, like sometimes you get stuff in and you're like kind of blown away. Like Doug sent me that Germano. He didn't like it. I connected with it after I tuned it. I connected with it right away, and I was like, "This is a cool ass knife." So I kind of knew I wanted that one. Something about that one has a cool feel to it. And I don't usually draw into this kind of smaller knives like that. I like generally speaking, I like bigger knives, but I'm kind of getting into that left pocket, the fidgety kind of thing on the left pocket too. But you go through phases with that fidgety and non-fidgety and hardcore work knife and all that stuff. Anywho, I'd lent Will from WC Blade Reviews. If you don't know his channel, it's worth checking out. Will's a cool dude, and he's super big on these. And this is don't want to say it wrong, half breed. Yeah, I was gonna say half face, but that's another maker. This is a half breed. I don't even know what the model is called. Sorry, Will. Let's call it the big motherfucker. This is a pretty good size knife, and it doesn't. You can't really tell in like looking at it how heavy this knife really is. And it's really hard to see in video, but almost so if you see this split, let's see if I can turn it where you can kind of sort of see. These are steel liners, man. I'm pretty sure they're steel. Could be titanium, but I don't think so. I think they're steel. I didn't even check it, to be honest with you. But it's a liner lock, so you can see the liner right there. And there are liners on both sides. So this knife is probably heavier than any knife I own. Believe it or not, it's not as big, but it's definitely as heavy. Just a good beast of a knife, man. It's really, it's a beast of a knife. This is one that you think you can go to war with, no problem at all. This is a tank, definitely 100% tank. It's kind of a medium grind. It's not like super thick. It's not super thin. It's a good medium grind. To me, for a bruiser, it's almost perfect. I wouldn't change a whole lot about that. And really, the only thing I can tell you that I don't like about this is it's not a frame lock. Like, honestly, if it's a frame lock, God, I can't believe I'm about to say this. If it was titanium instead of steel liners, I'd probably like it more too. But this steel for a reason. It's strong. It's fine. Does its thing. But I dig the knife, and thank you, Will, for letting me check this thing out. I haven't carried it or really done anything other than just fondle it and kind of feel it over and that sort of thing. It's a cool knife, though. Definitely worth checking out. And if you're into these kind of like bigger knives, and I believe I've seen some of these for pretty dang cheap on the secondary, so keep your eye out. Definitely worth picking up, but be ready for the weight. It's heavy, right? This one was kind of like when Steve Clare sent me his knives. You get that one surprise. That's kind of what I was alluding to with the Luther and then Germano a minute ago. Germano. This is a DDR. This is the Dominator V4. And this is one of those knives that kind of sort of, Reminds me of the ZT of old, and what I always wish they would have been. And how I said that is like, or why I say that is, it's just got unique finishes. Like some of the stuff on the blade, it's just so unique. The thicknesses are good. It's not really pocketed out. Like, see, it's all solid inside there. It's got just enough little flare. Sorry, Socks is all about the loving right now. Very, very cool knife. I could do without the Mokutai. If it was just regular titanium, it'd probably be better for me. And I'm not so much fond of the blue. It's enough two tones already going on. Like, to me, like, blasted hardware would probably look way better in this thing. Kind of go through it and make it look better. In my opinion, I'm not a color kind of guy. I got a splash of color or whatever, but this is a really cool knife. I dig this one a lot. And Will had said that he thought he overpaid for this thing. And as I was looking at them, I was like, the different configurations, and they all vary in prices. And, Daryl Ross no longer with us. So, obviously prices are fluctuating because some people value that more. Some people don't give a damn. Like, but this is a cool knife. Me and Will might try to work out something as far as trade on this one goes. It just depends. Like, I'm going to send him some stuff to check out. If we come to an agreement, we do. If we don't, we don't. We'll see what happens. But this one I can definitely connect with on a different level than like the Luther and stuff. This honestly reminds me of what I always wanted ZT to be. It's a really cool knife. If you had any chance to check one of those out, highly recommend checking one out. Whether you want one or not, I don't know. That's up to you. But I dig that knife a lot more than I thought I would, to be honest with you. And it's kind of smaller for what I generally like, but I dig it a lot. So now we come to the point in the video where I start saying, well, let's just back it up for a second. So every year is me and Hot Rod's anniversary this past weekend. And so every year we kind of like get together and figure out where we want to do. Like, we kind of change gears. So last year, like this time, she kind of cut me carte blanche for chaos for the knife thing. I kind of got to do whatever I wanted to for the year. She didn't care. But this year, she's focusing on school. So we had a shipping container build that's kind of sort of behind the shop over here. And she wants it done so she can get in there and do schoolwork and stuff. And I don't know if you hear the air conditioner behind us, but it needs air conditioning in it. Like, already in April, we run air conditioning for a while now. It gets hot out here in Arizona, so we need to air condition it. We need to finish framing it. We need to spray insulate it, and then finish it. So it's going to require a decent amount of money on top of the mill project, which is sitting over there just taking up space at the moment, not really doing anything. Hopefully we'll get it running soon. But between the both of them, it's going to require funds. So I'm going to start, as I get nice back in from loan that I know that I haven't really been carrying or using, I'm going to put them up, like let y'all know that they're available for sale. If you happen to want one, just contact me, right? We'll work something out. Some of these, I'm not giving away any of them. Some of these I'll give you great prices on. Other ones that I don't care if I do or don't, I'm going to offer fair prices. Like, it just depends on, you'll see in a second here, because there's some knives in this little category that I'm like, I don't know that I'm really 100% ready to part ways, but I would, because I could use the money, kind of thing. So I'm going to pause and we'll do the top down and show y'all what I got. And then I'm going to leave it up to y'all. I'm not going to put prices and shit on things, but y'all, if you've done deals with me before, you know how I hook it up. So hang on 1 second. All right, we back. All right, so we'll start over here. This is actually Aaron's Scout. He gave it to me. I customized it a little bit, fixed the detent, added a little bit of relief inside here. It's just not one I ever really 100% connected with. He said the same thing. But this is a Chebrikov Scout. So anybody interested, hit me up. We'll figure it out. I'm going to quit saying that because I'm going to say it every single time probably. J2, I made the thumb studs stop pins on this one because the stock ones just kind of rattled loose and out. It's blasted on the outside, the same kind of finish that I did on that on the Luther. As you can see, it's pretty much the same finish. But the insides are still that shiny stonewash. I don't know if you can, yeah, they can kind of sort of see in there. So I basically just clamped the scales together and then blasted the outsides. So it has a shiny inside, which makes it good slick action. Like, if you ever handled a J2, the stock one that's stonewashed, they're slick, man. So anyway, it's a little funkier of a knife, a little bit thinner in the titanium than I'd like. But overall, it's a good knife. I think this one's in 154 cm, if I'm not mistaken. I don't have my glasses. You guys can probably, let's see if I can put it in the camera low enough. I don't know if you can see it or not. I definitely can't read that, but I believe it says 154 cm. So that one's up. The very last ZT that I have in my personal collection, this Hot Rod does have some of her own. 0456 black wash. You don't see too many of these black wash ones, and this is not one of the newer ones. This is one of the original ones that's in, I believe, 20 CV. Can y'all see that? Because I can't. It's in there somewhere. But I believe it's 20 CV. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that I took this clip off of something else. But don't quote me on that. It does look like it came off of something else. Anyway, I don't have the other one. That's the only one that comes with it. But it's a cool knife. I think this has got a decent edge on it too. Can't even remember. It's been so long. So this is one I got from Steve. I actually customized it for Steve. It's got Zerk studs in it now. Yes, they're not colored, but there are Zerk studs. I asked it to stonewash the blade. It does have a slight, let's see if I can see it right in this area. Like if you look at direct on it, you really can't see it, but in the right light, it's kind of like a little shadowing right there. And that, I don't know what the hell ever caused that, but other than that, it's got like a little scuff like right up in here somewhere. It needs to be, you know, Loctited, tuned how you'd like it. But other than that, it's a solid Inkosi drop point. It's up. The Spartan RC folder. I think this one's called the Spartan. This is an S45, I believe. Watch out, Socks. You're about to get yourself stuck there, girly. Yeah, S45. I can read that on this one, I think. Anyhow, damn it, cat. Hey, move the cat butt, please. Cat butt. There you go. That one's up. XM24. This one is the one that I got reground. Sorry, Miss Socks is all about the loving this morning. Let me move her real quick. Hang on a second. Sorry about that. She's about to come up again, I think, but I'll try to keep her down. XM24. This one's got the BGM reground sheepfoot. This one did come from a brother of mine, and if you want it back, you let me know. We'll work out whatever we need to work out. But I think you said you're done with 24s, Mitch. So Mitch, if you want it back, let me know, man. It's definitely go to you first. Your first choice. But anybody else wants it, it's a Triway reground. It's super thin now. It's actually a super good knife. I just never carry it, man. I have another 24. I think I'm gonna keep it over that one, but it might go up for sale too. I don't know. We'll see. This 4MAX Scout or 4MAX regular. What do you call those premium ones? The S35, the new version, whatever the hell that new version is called. Like Elite, maybe. I don't know, something like that. I got one of those. I don't think I've even cut anything. Oh, yeah, this may be a liar. I cut something with it. I just saw the tip had a little smooch on it. Yeah, I cut something with it, but that's very little. So I definitely haven't carried or really used it in any meaningful capacity. So it's pretty much brand new. I got the American made version as well. I do have the original thumb stud for this one. This one does have a little funky bronze thumb stud on it now. I did not do this. Someone else did this. When I got this, this is welded on there. I just kind of made it shape better than what it was. It's still a little weird, but it's basically like the hook for the Emerson deployment. And yeah, it does work. And I blasted the scales on this one because that came filthy. This one has been used and abused. This one is in 20 CV and it is soft. I don't know if that had to do with the welding on this or not, but when I did check it, I think it's right there. I don't know if you see that or not in the blade. I did hardness check it. I think it was 57, something like that, which for a knife like this, you know, everybody geeks out on heat treat, stuff like this, but to me, like, I think that's fine. For this knife, it works just fine because it's tougher at that range, but it just don't get as much edge retention. So which one you want? You still got the stainless of the 20 CV, so there you go, that one. Okay, now we're getting into knives that are like hard to sell, but if they're available if you want. How about that? I didn't think I was going to do this one either. So this is the Daiware. This one is carbon fibered. This one has been customized pretty heavily. Finger control added. Thumb studs. There are also stop pins. The swedge up top. It did have a chip tip when I got it, so I fixed that. It is slightly out of center. I did round the pocket clip down, moved it over. Let's see, the centering is... Where's the camera on this thing? I can't even find my damn phone camera. Hang on a second. There we go. It's off just a hair. See it? It's off more than a hair. It's off to this side, which is kind of unusual most time because the other way, right? So, anywho, action's still good on it. Sorry I keep bumping the camera, but it's hard to hell to reach across this. Infraction. This one, I always had a love-hate thing with this one, but this one actually came from Brass Brigade Jason before he became Brass Brigade as far as the business goes. I made this clip. He actually had an infraction with it on it. Steve had one, and another buddy of mine out in California had one, and I don't think anybody has infractions anymore that I made the clips for. So at this point, it's a 1 of 4 or 5. I think I made 4. I can't remember. Maybe I made 5. I don't remember. But anyhow, it was all black when I got it. Some of the hardware is marred. I think back here or something. I can't remember what I did, but something happened somewhere along the line. It's kind of had that relief stone wash kind of faded look on this and on the blade. Yeah, infraction. Let me know if you want it. We'll go to the 187. This one is the S90, and this one has had the finger twirl mod done to it. Let's see what else. This is one that I really like for work, but really has not been put to task that much. And this is one that kind of sort of just fell through the cracks because I got so many other cool knives, right? So that's pretty much the reason I'm selling this one. This one, one of you guys asked me about this, and I'm sorry if you guys ever ask me and I tell you you can have something or gonna borrow it to you. I just can't remember all that crap, man. So you gotta stay on me. I'm sorry, my memory sucks. I'm old. I just can't remember that shit. So don't hold it against me, please. Just bug me until if you told me you wanted this one, and it'll probably be in a Instagram comment or something. I can figure it out for sure if you were the one who asked me about this one. But someone asked me about selling this one, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and put the infraction up with the American flag. I do have used this one. I've lent it out to several people. It's nowhere near abused. It's pretty much good to go. A couple marks here and there, but it's good to go. We're getting in the really, really hard section now. Hang on one second. Crawl over here. I don't know about this one either. Fierce for Prey, Crusader Forge. This one's hard, but I just don't carry this one over the other one, man. I love the thumb stud. Don't like the G10, but if you're one of those unsure about bruiser peoples, you'll probably like the G10 more so. No thumb stud on this other side. Yes, I could fix that. No, I don't have the capability of doing it at this moment, but it could be done in the future. But there you go. Crusader Fierce for Prey. This one does have a pretty nasty edge on it too. But it's a good knife. I just don't carry it. And it's because of the G10, I think, is the reason I don't carry it. But I don't know. If I keep it, I'll probably make a tie scale for it. This is almost the same ballpark here. This is a GF1 with a G10 scale on it. This is the extra thick one. So he used to make them all 1/4 inch blades. Now he makes them pretty much 3/16. This is a 1/4 inch thick blade. He did do some flame anno, and then this is lasered. His lasered logo. I don't know if you can see that logo or not right there. Yeah, there you go. And I have that VXC I have is pretty much like a matching kind of set. But honestly, man, like if it comes to these GFs, for some reason I just don't connect with it. Something about this knife just me just didn't connect. So this is something that you're interested in, let me know. But you know, some of the ones do, some of them don't, right? Connect. And this is kind of the same way with this one. And I hate to say it because I just got it, but this is Dan's brand new model. I think it's called the Atreus or something like that. I'll show you the card or something, but yeah, pretty much brand new. It's his newest model, and I can't believe I'm about to sell it already, but it's gonna go up. If someone buys it, that's cool. If they don't, then I don't have a problem keeping it. But it's just one of those ones that titanium being thinner, and then how he chamfered the edges on this one, and a little bit sharper back here. Like, I don't know, for whatever reason, like, I don't dislike this knife, don't get me wrong, but it's not the one that, it doesn't connect to me with like some of the other DSKs do. So I think there's 15 knives there. If any of those interest you, let me know. Sorry to push my sales on you people, but I think I told you why. Gotta get the machine running and gotta fund the wife's shipping container build. All right, Foxy Socks, what do you say? You tell the people to have a good week? Huh? You want to tell the people have a good week? Oh, yeah, good girl. All right, y'all be cool. See you next week.